What if the water you drink every morning isn't really helping you at all? That it's become, in a practical and energetic sense, dead. Not chemically dead, but functionally inert. Hydration reduced to habit, ritual emptied of intention, a liquid that passes through without lighting anything inside you. The cost shows up as chronic low energy, foggy thinking, constant caffeine chasing, and a gut that feels like it's holding onto ash instead of moving heat. Today I'll show you a two-step ancestral approach, a clearing and an ignition that many people use to revive their mornings and protect that fragile pilot light inside you. This isn't a clinic prescription. It's a lineage-tethered routine, a short apple fast described in the historical readings of the sleeping prophet Edgar Cayce, followed by a daily minute-long internal wash using a traditionally referenced iodine preparation. The apple clears the chimney, the drop lights the pilot. Together they're meant to transform passive hydration into an active ritualized practice that supports steadier energy and digestive rhythm. If this concept is landing with you, type "I ignited" in the comments now to join a small one-week experiment with others trying the same routine. A quick historical anchor. In several of Cayce's readings, the apple appears as a simple, accessible agent for internal cleansing, a sort of household broom for the digestive tract. Historically recommended as a brief 3-day fast, the apple fast is not dramatic detox theater. Think of it as a gentle sweep, easy to digest fruit, minimal meals, fewer inflammatory inputs, and a few days where the gut isn't working overtime. Anecdotally, people in those accounts report lighter bellies and an immediate sense of space, like soot cleared from a chimney. One story I often tell. A woman in a small town followed the 3-day apple routine before a long winter of heavy meals. By day 3, she described her mornings as less resistive, less sluggish, less need for coffee, and her digestion resumed a quieter rhythm. That's the kind of practical change the apple fast aims to encourage. But clearing alone doesn't guarantee warmth. Imagine sweeping ash from a cold fireplace and leaving it unlit. The hearth is clean, but the house is still cold. That's why this protocol pairs the apple fast, the broom, with a gentle ignition, a single-drop ancestral iodine ritual intended to metaphorically nudge the thyroid's pilot light and restore a soft, steady, metabolic hum. Call it an internal match, a tradition for re-establishing signaling after a period of cleansing. Before I go further, an unmistakable safety note. This ritual is an ancestral practice, not a medical treatment. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, have known thyroid disease, including Hashimoto's, are on thyroid or other endocrine medications, or have any significant health condition, consult your healthcare provider before trying anything like this. Do not stop or alter prescribed medications based on this video. If you experience palpitations, flushing, tremors, chest discomfort, or any concerning symptoms while doing the ritual, stop immediately and seek medical advice. Now the practical sensory walkthrough, the part you can replicate. These steps reflect the traditional recommendation as it appears in this lineage. First, the apple fast. For 3 days, center your meals on apples and water. Choose whole apples, eaten steadily through the day as your main food source, keeping activity ordinary and rest prioritized. The aim is simplicity and gentle movement through the gut. Nothing extreme. If you rely on medication that must be taken with food, follow your clinician's guidance. The apple fast is a short clearing window. Many people notice a reduction in bloating and a lightening of mornings by day 3. Keep a pen and the tracking sheet I'll describe handy. After you complete the 3-day apple fast, begin the ignition ritual the next morning. Equipment and preferences. Use a clean glass vessel. The tradition prefers glass to avoid contact with synthetic materials, and filtered water at room temperature. Avoid plastic contact as a traditional energetic preference rather than a strict rule. The preparation is simple and intentional. Step-by-step ritual. Traditional recommendation. Pour about half a glass of room temperature filtered water. Add 1 single drop of the traditionally referenced iodine preparation. This is described in the lineage as a small, symbolic addition. 1 drop only. Do not substitute pharmaceutical iodine dosages or change prescription regimens. This is not medical dosing advice. Give the glass a gentle clockwise swirl, a slow mindful circle to set intention and mix the drop in. Begin a 2-minute sipping cadence. Take 1 small sip roughly every 5 to 8 seconds, breathing gently from your diaphragm between sips. The rhythm is deliberate. Soft shoulders, relaxed jaw. Each sip paired with a long downward breath and a calm upward exhale. Finish the glass, then go about your morning with the sense that you have lit a small pilot light. The traditional schedule calls for doing this 5 consecutive mornings and then taking 2 days off. Repeat the cycle as you choose. As you perform the ritual, notice the sensory details, the tiny dispersal of the drop as it diffuses, the coolness of the water at the lips, the slow pattern of breath that steadies the nervous system. This is part of the active intention, shifting hydration from autopilot to a practiced moment of internal tending. Safety and limits. Return to the warnings. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, have diagnosed thyroid disease, or take thyroid or endocrine medications, consult your provider before considering anything like this. Do not stop any prescribed medication. If you experience palpitations, flushing, tremors, dizziness, chest pain, or other emergent symptoms during or after the ritual, stop immediately and seek medical care. This practice is traditionally framed as supportive of a sense of metabolic steadiness, not as a cure for disease. To make this useful rather than vague, track the following metrics every morning for 7 days. Rate your bloating on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 meaning no bloating, 10 meaning severe. Rate your energy from 0 to 10 and write 1 short line about mental clarity, a sentence or phrase like clear-headed, foggy until noon, or steady focus. Record day 1 at baseline, then through day 7. Many people report initial shifts by day 3, but the point is to observe trends, not single-day miracles. If you see small improvements in energy and less bloating over several days, that's a meaningful signal. If symptoms worsen, or if you experience any of the stop signals, discontinue and consult a clinician. A few clarifying notes about the language I'm using. Dead water is a concept for framing what can happen when hydration and ritual lose their role as active participants in your physiology. It's a metaphor that points to inertia, water that slips through without stimulating breathing, nervous regulation, or digestive momentum. Calling the thyroid a pilot light is likewise a conceptual image. It helps us picture a slow, steady flame that keeps systems' heat even. These metaphors are evocative tools, not literal physiological mechanisms. For those who want a simple weekly plan, days 1 to 3, apple-focused meals only, lots of plain filtered water, gentle movement, rest. Day 4, begin the 1-drop ritual each morning for 5 mornings. Days 9 to 10. Pause the ritual for 2 days. Continue tracking bloating, energy, clarity each morning for at least 7 days of the experiment. Share 1-line observations at the end of week 1 if you're comfortable. A last practical clarification about materials. The tradition names an atomic iodine or atomidine style preparation in some readings. Treat these as historically referenced tinctures within the lineage. Do not assume equivalence with medical-grade iodine or attempt to replicate prescription dosing. If you're curious about iodine status or thyroid function more broadly, pursue lab testing with your clinician rather than experimenting with unsupervised supplementation. Now, what to expect and how to interpret results. A modest early improvement in bloating or a small repeatable uptick in morning energy by day 3 can mean your habit has shifted from dead to engaged. A lasting change is evidenced by consistent scores on your tracking sheet, lower bloating scores, higher energy scores, and clarity notes that trend positive. If you see no change, that's informative too. Hydration rituals are one lever among many, and the goal here is practical self-observation, not quick promises. If you notice any concerning physical signs, stop and seek medical evaluation. The narrative we return to is simple. Sweeping the chimney without lighting the fire leaves the house cold. The apple fast is a practical sweep. The single-drop ritual is the small match. Together, they're a ritual grammar for turning passive hydration into intentional tending of your inner hearth. Many people who adopt the two-step approach describe mornings that feel less like firefighting and more like tending, steadier energy, less immediate need for stimulants, a quieter gut. If you joined in by typing "I ignited" earlier, good, you're now part of a small test. After 7 days, come back and post one short line in the comments about what changed for you. Less bloating, steadier energy, no change, or whatever fits. That one-line report helps all of us see patterns without turning this into an echo chamber of guaranteed claims. Final note: approach this with curiosity and measured expectation. This is an ancestral practice matched with modern self-observation, not a replacement for medical care, not a cure-all, and not a reason to alter prescribed treatments. If you found this useful, like and subscribe for more practical rituals and habit experiments that sit between tradition and modern life. Share your one-line outcome after a week. That small data point is how communities learn what tends to work. Remember the title, Why Your Water is Dead and Killing Your Energy. Clean the chimney, light the pilot, tend the hearth. Your mornings will thank you.